A year of unease. Following the year of deliberating problems of year 2020, the 2020 has brought many problems to India and worldwide. But whether those problems can be solved in the next year, in the coming year, according to the MK Narayan, the restoring India's image in 2020 will not be that easy. With many problems that has been arised in the year 2020, we should consider an year 2020 as a bad year for the country and the world as a whole, because there are many problems that takes place in the year 2020. That is, the year 2020 was a deliberating one for much of the world, and India included. India has been more than its share of problems. As 2020 comes to close, it might be worthwhile to take a hard look at these issues to ensure that 2021 does not become another wasted year. The first thing obviously is the pandemic and the very pandemic issues regarding the fatalities and the infections, and also the regarding the hospitals, hospitality, and the issues related to healthy care. And apart from these COVID-19 pandemic situations, there has been also been situations where the India has been confronted with the China in the border tensions, where there has been an unprecedented situation because of the Chinese aggression in the eastern Ladakh, led to the decadal deaths of our military Indian soldiers ever since the border has been kept alive, and also the internal problems such as Naxalite violence, Jammu Kashmir reminded during the tough 2020, because but although recently in the Jammu there is a small ongoing resentment in the Jammu and Kashmir regarding the statehood and resentment caused by the status of the Jammu and Kashmir, but and also the political leaders were fairly undermined by the center, but those problems are even solved by the recently held district development council elections, ongoing district development council elections, and also there is also been a rising aggravating situations with the ongoing West Bengal elections. It is becoming a war zone. The West Bengal assembly elections is becoming a war zone, and also the relations between the Delhi, the center, and the Kolkata, but the relations between the center and states have been worsening because of many because of the Article 131 of the Constitution. Many petitions were filed by the CAA and NRC in 2019 and also in 2020 by Karnataka, Kerala, and many other governments, and even West Bengal and Delhi has filed a petition in the Supreme Court regarding the central acts. So the central and state relations are being worsening, and also there is a highly damaging point from the established view of the democracy, because the democracy is being mainly deteriorated, and also the political, we can also see an example of a political polarization that is seen in the Indian politics today, and also the significance of the parliament has been undermined in this context. There has been a many there has been a many postponements of the sessions of the parliament in 2020, and also the sanctity of the parliament has been a diminishing role, and the utility of the parliament as a platform for an honest exchange of views is obviously declined. And other parameters as well as 2020 proved to be a bad year is that there is also slipped, the economy is in recession. Obviously with the slow decadal growth, and from the past 4 quarters there has been a decline in the growth rate, and also the human development index rank has been decreased, and also the slippages have occurred in the global economic freedom index, and new items of legislation on social issues, a law against the forced conversion by marriage, for instance, tend to aggravate an already diverse polity. The farmers' agitation because of the farm laws is another instance where official intransigence has led to the situation in which the Supreme Court had sought to intervene, though without tangible results. But it has to be made to intervene in the case. Okay, so how these challenges can be overcome in the year ahead is that it is only possible with the help of the ruling party or the central government in hand. It has to take a daring decisions irrespective of the opposition, and also the ruling party and the ruling central government enjoys certain specific three particular things than any government. to bring such a change in the coming year ahead, that is string of electoral success for the ruling party, and also the personal popularity of the Prime Minister, and also the absence of any serious competitor at the national stage. So these 3 points add up to the ruling party, and it make feasible for the ruling party to take daring decisions, and also to structurally implement any laws in this stage for the growth in the economy, and also for the solving of the problems that arisen in the year 2020. So it is the ability of a government to deliver on the current issues that matter in the final reckoning, and for this the government must demonstrate effective leadership must be performed. It might be the best if authorities begin by ticking off a list of problems left over from 2020 and consider how best to achieve the results of that. And when coming to the China tensions, border tensions in the Ladakh sector, India should think of what better options are available to it to resolve a conflict that is certainly working to its disadvantage and is enabling many of its neighbors to play China against India. If India is to be viewed as the only nation in the Asia that can stand up to China challenge, it must come up with a whole new paradigm of ideas on which further actions can be formulated. Statements critical of the China, even amounting to abuse in many instances, are hardly answer to most serious foreign political challenges the country faces, because the state of the economy should be next. Mere claims that the economy has rebounded hardly suffice. India must seek in all the honesty to enhance its competitive advantage with other nations. According to the various global indices, India must push its ranking to upward sector according to the for better India. Misleading concepts that the export-oriented economy strategy is damaging, implicitly suggesting that India should look inward rather than outwards to enlarge its economy needs to be rejected, and India should enhance its export capacity. India's real strength flows from its diversity and its ability to utilize all the available opportunities. In 2021, we need to see India's genuine blooming in full measure. Side by side with this, all attempts to tamper with the technological and academic excellence as prompted in some quarters during 2020 need to be avoided. And also, the other pressing challenge in 2021 would be job creation for the youth, who are India's most abiding asset. The government must take urgent steps to set up the right disruptions in the labor market caused by the pandemic and other contributing factors. Creating a new jobs in the new industries should be critical requirement. Stimulating the demand would ensure growth in job opportunities, and this should go in hand to hand with this task. The importance of such measures must not be underestimated, and restoring the confidence in the next year must be the year in which a serious attempt is made by the government and Delhi in particular to restore the confidence in the constitutional practices and principles. There is an impression among those that who have differences or disagreements with the ruling dispensation at the center, and the latter is violating the principles and the rules sanctified by the constitution, that the opposition's right are being steadily undermined. The intention according to the latter is achieve single party rule across the entire nation. It could well be argued that this is a total misunderstanding or misreading of the actions taken by the center, but it is apparent that there is a crisis of confidence which is affecting the body politic. In these circumstances, perceptions appear to have a much impact or as facts. In 2021, impressions needs to be reversed. The starting point would be effecting an improvement in center-state relations, particularly between the Delhi and states ruled by the opposition parties. 2021 could well be the made or break point as far as the delicate balance enshrined in our federal constitution is concerned. A digital technology advances and other concerns that an unduly centralized government could use this to further reduce the independent authority of states will again need to be dispelled. Effective cooperation between the center and the states must be restored as early as possible to instill the confidence about India's democratic future. So these are about the views of M.K. Narayan, is a former National Security Advisor and former Governor of West Bengal. So that the coming year 2021 is a year ahead, and also the government has a lot of responsibilities to take in action to remove the problems that has arisen in the 2020.